One of the biggest challenges that people have when it comes to improving themselves is not having a clear, specific reason in their mind as to why they should continue. And I understand that it can be very difficult to pinpoint and find your exact reasons, which is why I made this resolve chart. It's split into 8 key sections, which I will cover briefly here. Now, the previous video took way too long for me to record as I was going over all of the points, so I will be a lot more brief in this video. At the very top, and what I would consider the first thing you should look into, is punishment, which is clear consequences for misbehaving or doing bad habits and not working hard. Now, these are things like using B minor or having a cash escrow with a friend, but having a clear punishment grew your discipline when you were a child. Now, one of the best punishments you can set up is to find a very good friend who to be active with and to send hourly logs of what you do every hour. This can also be about encountering challenges or just being accountable when you relapse. On the top left, we have goals, which are physical quantifiable targets. Now, I've linked a few key points that make them even more powerful, but just having a clear goal helps even in itself because it gives you a target and helps you understand where you should be moving to clearly. In the middle, we have the reward, which is something that you would really want normally. It's just designated behind the task. So that could be something like reading a book or having candy or going to watch a movie. I've put in some tips here on how to set this up to be the most efficient, as a lot of the time you can not use it correctly. On the top right side, we have the competition part, and competing with others can actually greatly increase your productivity and your desire to work in general. It's not just forcing yourself to work. Working can become a bit more funner as you find yourself competing with others and not wanting them to win. To set up a competition, I recommend you again find a very good friend. You can always go online and join some servers on Discord or wherever to try and find someone. Just send out a message, say, hey, looking for an accountability partner to talk to daily, and just keep in touch with them every single day. You could combine this with the punishment, just send them hourly logs, talk about your challenges, and you can also create punishments and rewards for each other if you really trust them or it's a previous friend. On the bottom right, we have identity, which is who you are. Now, identity can be one of the most powerful ways to give you resolve, but it's also usually built over a long time from your actions. One of the ways to sidecut needing to build history to build your identity is to note down what type of person you want to be, what beliefs you want to have, and internalize them. I will talk a bit more about internalization in a couple of minutes. One of the points that I want to elaborate is this point here. It's linking it with other sections, and that would be just putting a part of your identity into your goals, your rewards, competition, your purpose, all of the other things would amplify your identity and vice versa. Purpose is a rather tricky one, and I'm sure we've all heard of. Now, a lot of the beginners in discipline can make this mistake of only going for purpose or trying to make purpose alone work. Usually it can be different for everyone. Purpose for myself didn't really work. It was rather desire, but purpose for you can be your main career or it can have no impact. I recommend you just experiment, see what you feel emotionally and see whether it actually impacts you. And as I put in one of these points, just keep on experimenting, changing, seeing what works for you. Now on the bottom left, we have desire, which is the deeper and emotional desires that resonate with the subconscious and the lower part of your brain. And if you do find them and note them down, internalize them, they can have the greatest impact. That's partly why I've been so disciplined recently, is I have gotten in touch with my deeper emotional desires and they have helped me greatly. Some examples of the desires could be something like revenge, acceptance, not disappointing yourself, etc., etc. And it wouldn't be something that you'd mention out loud. On the bottom, we have internalization, and this one's a little bit more different than others, as by itself, it doesn't really do much, but it amplifies everything else. Having any of these sections just in your thoughts will be way less effective than having them written down and fully internalizing them to the point where you can recite them every single second of your consciousness. This is what internalization is about, and that's why I put multiplication symbols right here when there's usually pluses next to each of the sections, because they multiply everything else that you're trying to do. And the section is rather simple actually. You should just write them down every day, maybe say them out loud, recite them. Overall, the more you repeat any of these sections, the greater their effect will be. You can also do this with identity, where through belief augmentation, where you note down good beliefs and you would write them down every day, say them out loud, recite them, and you can actually internalize them that way. So this is the first version of Resolve. Again, I have tried to keep it as short as possible because in the previous explanation I kept it way too long. If you have any questions, just comment them down below. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Just before you click any other videos, just got a bit of an announcement. I am actually making a bit of an app to employ a lot of this and a lot of the other things I haven't mentioned in this video or in any videos yet that will help you get more disciplined. It'll create a few of the other systems to help you improve all of these sections. And I also do have a Discord server where you can join and talk directly to me and have a bit of a discussion about discipline. The links are below. It'll all be found in the Discord server.